Alright, in this video we'll be looking at selected problems from sections 4.1 and 4.2. I'll begin with problem number 2 from 4.1. This is on page 271. This problem is directly off your assignment. On number 2, we are given a graph. So we have an X and Y axis. X and Y. And they graph a line that crosses the x-axis at 2, 0 and crosses the y-axis at 0, -3. This being 2, this being -3. Alright, we'll draw a line through these 2 points. And they ask us to find the slope of this line. Well, one way that we talk about slope is rise over run. Slope, and we use M to represent slope, can be thought of as the rise over the run. Okay, so I'm going to draw a right triangle between these 2 points and count how many units it runs and how many it rises. It runs 1, 2 units, 2 to the right. It rises 1, 2, 3 units, 3 up. So the slope in this case is rise 3, run 2. The slope here is 3 over 2, and it's positive because the line is moving up. That is problem number 2. Problem number 2, the slope is 3 over 2. Alright, next we will look at number 8. Number 8 is not on your assignment, but you have a couple adjacent to it that are very much like it. It asks us to find the slope. Find slope through the points 3, 1 and 5, 4. Okay, we could graph those 2 points on the grid and find the slope like we did in number 2, or we can use the slope formula. The slope formula, M, slope is equal to change in y divided by change in x. Well, again, this is just the rise over the run. The vertical change is the rise and the horizontal change is the run. Change in y simply means subtract a couple of y's, y2 minus y1, over x2 minus x1. Okay, so in this case, subtracting some y's, I have 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1. Well, the denominator, since I subtracted 4 minus 1 in the numerator, I must use that same order in the denominator. I will subtract 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. Again, the slope is 3 over 2. Coincidentally, the same answer as number 2. Slope here is 3 over 2. And if you notice, this slope is positive. That is, as the x increases, 3 went to 5, the y also increases. 1 goes to 4. That's number 8. Next, I'll look at number 22. All right. Number 22 says, solve for the indicated variable. So they give us the point A, unknown x, comma, -2, and 4, comma, -6. And they tell us that the slope between these 2 points is -3. And they want us to solve for this A. Again, we will employ our slope formula. Slope is a change in y divided by change in x. Well, this time we know what the slope is. It's -3. So we'll set up the subtractions like we did previously. Subtracting the y's. Negative 6 minus a. Subtracting the x's. 4 minus negative 2. Alright. Well, 4 minus negative 2, that's like 4 plus 2. This becomes negative 3 equals negative 6 minus a over 4 minus negative 2 is the same as 4 plus 2. That's 6. Alright, I want to solve for a. I want to eliminate this denominator of 6 here. I'll multiply by 6 on both sides. In general, if we have a fraction involved with our variable, it would be nice to get that. It would be nice to get that the variable out of this fraction. We will multiply by the denominator. It's divided by 6, multiplied by 6 will eliminate that. 6 divides with the 6 to leave 1. So we have negative 6 minus a in our numerator. 6 times negative 3 is a negative 18. Solving for a, I'll add 6 to both sides. We're left with negative a. Negative 18 plus 6 will be a negative 12. Lastly, dividing by negative 1, and a is 12. We should substitute this back in to verify, but this is indeed correct. Alright, that's number 22. Next, I'll look at number 34. Alright. Number 34 says finding slope from the intercepts. It says graph the line with x-intercept negative 4 and y-intercept negative 2. Okay, so back to our graph paper. We want to graph a line with an x-intercept of negative 4. X-intercept of negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's negative 4. And a y-intercept of negative 2. Y-intercept of negative 1, negative 2. Okay. Well, hopefully you can see this line has a negative slope. That is, it is going down from left to right. If you wrote your name on this line, it would be moving downward. Okay. I want to look at a table of these two values to drive home what it means to be an intercept. This x-intercept of negative 4 is the point negative 4 pairs with 0. This is the x-intercept. Alright. This point negative 2 is 0, negative 2. 0, negative 2. That is the y-intercept. Notice at the intercepts, one of the coordinates is always 0. Because if we lie on one of the axes, we either didn't make a up and down movement or we made no left or right movement. That's an important concept. At the intercepts, one of the coordinates is always 0. Now we can use our slope formula, or we can do rise over run like we did previously. All of these will produce the same thing. I'm going to do rise over run one more time. Making a right triangle. Alright. We go 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right. This time we go 1, 2 units down. Since it's down, this quantity here is negative 2. We went down 2. So, slope is rise over run. That is, it is negative 2 down and 4 to the right. And that reduces to a negative 1/2. Alright. With those problems, you should be able to complete 4.1. Now let's look at 4.2. We're looking at 4.2, page 289. Page 289. I'm looking at problem number 1. This is directly off your assignment. It says, given the equation of the line, we want the slope and y-intercept. Alright? Give the equation of the line and slope and y-intercept form. Well, we need slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is the form of the equation y equals mx plus b. Alright. M is the slope. B is the y-intercept. Alright, so on number 1, they give us that m equals -4 and b equals -3. I will simply substitute these two values in for their respective parameters. So y equals slope is -4. The y-intercept is -3. This is the answer on number 1. Next, number 8. You only have to do the odd problems on this assignment, but this should help you with adjacent odd numbered problems. It says find the slope of a line parallel and perpendicular. Find slope of parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay. Well, from class notes, we know that parallel lines have equal slopes and perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. So on number 8, we're given the equation y equals -4x plus 11. All right. In this case, our slope is -4. Okay. Thus, any parallel line will also have slope of -4. Okay, and any perpendicular line will have slope of positive 1/4 because we want the negative reciprocal. Negative reciprocal. That is a fraction that has been inverted and the sign changed. -4 is the same as -4/1. So if I invert this fraction, flip it over, we get 1/4, and the negative becomes positive. This is what we mean by negative reciprocal. Okay, that's number 8. Next we have number 19. This one is directly off of your assignment. Then we have a graph. Number 19. Okay, we are given a line crosses over the y-axis 1, 2, 3, 4 at -4. And then we look at another point is over 2 and up 1. That point is 2, -3. Okay. Draw a line through those 2 points. It takes 2 points to find a line. Alright. It says for each of the following lines, name the slope and the y-intercept. Then write each equation in slope-intercept form. So we need to find the slope and we need to find the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is very easy to see here. It's the point where the line crosses the y-axis. That's -4. The slope we could find like in our previous section. One way is rise over run. Well, our line rises 1 and it runs 2. 1, 2. So our slope here is rise 1, run 2. Our slope is 1/2. Alright, thus we can write our slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. M is 1/2. X and b is -4. Alright, that is problem number 19. Okay, last one I'll do is problem number 25. This too is directly off your assignment. Number 25 says negative 4 comma 1 is a point, and we have a slope of negative 1/2. It says find the equation of the line. We're going to use our slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Well, we have the m. All we need is b. We can solve for b by substituting this x and this y into the equation. So y becomes 1. M we know is a negative 1/2. Our x is negative 4. We can now find b. From this line to this line, I substituted all the information that I knew. Slope was a negative 1/2, and x and y were negative 4 and 1 respectively. Negative 1/2 times negative 4 is a positive 2. 2 plus b is equal to 1. Solving for b, I'll subtract 2 on both sides. On the right side we have b, and 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So now we have the y-intercept. We've always had the slope. We're ready to come with the equation of a line. Y equals mx plus b. Slope is negative 1/2, and the y-intercept is negative 1. This line satisfies these two conditions. All right. Good luck on the rest of the assignment.